a little while. Thought I would finally get round to doing it, having actually cleared my desk once and for all. So if you have any kind of questions that you want to be answered, now is a good time to do it. Let's get rid of that sound as well, because we don't want feedback. Redders, good afternoon. 360 cameras, any good for what you do or not yet? 360 cameras, not really. Sorry, I just need to cough one moment. Okay, sorry about that. 360 cameras, yeah, not really, mate. It's let me go and turn that off as well. Let's get rid of that. One moment, guys. Sorry. Let's turn that off. Done. Okay. All right. So that gets rid of the advertisements. 360 gimbals, 360 cameras. No, not really. I guess if you wanted to be a little bit clever about it, you probably could use something like an Insta360. Let's take, for example, whilst we were up in the helicopter, we could have had a 360 view with that one. That was a little bit of a trial and error, which was more about checking comms, which we did have a bit of an issue just because I forgot to turn on all modems. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see a reason for a 360 camera whilst you're actually out on the field. Yeah, I've not found a use for one as yet. I probably could use one in the future when I think about it, but at this point I'm probably more focused on dual cameras, or multiple cameras. I mean, I have the capability to run multiple cameras, up to 8, well, probably up to 14 cameras, to be honest, if I daisy chain things. Hopefully that answered that question, Rotors. And hey, welcome along, mate. Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining the Q&A session. Christchurch Aviation, welcome along. JP Mac, good to see you, mate. Always a pleasure. Gimbals now, yes, gimbals are, whilst you're out in the field streaming, the fluid head and the tripod are probably the most important things. Oh, that camera's gone again. One moment, guys. I don't know what's going on with this camera today. It keeps turning off even though it's on full charge. But, oh, okay. Are we coming back? Yep, there we go. Yeah, I'm having my camera today is playing silly. It's decided it wants to shut down even though we've got power and it's been turned to no power off and all of that kind of thing. It still seems to want to shut itself down. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. No, definitely not overheating. It's not even doing anything, to be honest. But what I will do is just hit record and see if that actually helps. There we go. Davo, welcome along, mate. Danielle, welcome along. Tracy, good afternoon, or good evening in my case. Lots of people. Hey, this is not an actual stream today. This is definitely a Q&A tech talk. So if there's anything you want to know, anything you want to talk about, then please feel free. Has that just gone again? Wow. All right. Let's go back to that one. That has just died on me again. That's really bizarre. What is going on with you? What did I do with the... So this is, so I'm actually on the, EV10 Mark II, which, funnily enough, Tally was on the other day and had the same problem, and it just kept cutting out. And I don't know why. Maybe I mean, it's only been on for a couple of minutes, so interesting. I might have to look into that a little bit more. But yes, gimbals. Gimbals. Now that's an interesting one. The gimbal definitely would have come useful when I was up in the helicopter, because the turbulence up there was absolutely awful. And we had to do a whole world of things. Guys, if this camera cuts off again, what I might actually do is swap over to the one that does actually seem to be working right now. But gimbal, yes, the gimbal would have been very useful when it came to the helicopter. The next time I go up, I will be going up with the gimbal. I'm also going up with an easy rig to allow me to balance it and hold it tight. One of the conditions of going up into the helicopter with the camera and everything else is I had to have it all strapped up. So unfortunately, my easy rig hadn't turned up at that point. This time it has. So I've adapted it now for my Zhiyun gimbal. I've actually got 3 different gimbals. I've got the Zhiyun, I've got the Insta. I forget what they call it, and I've also got a Hohem. But the Hohem and the Insta are both for your mobile cameras, whereas the Zhiyun is for 12 kilos or less. So I will strap that and have it on the easy rig, and then go up in the helicopter again. So hopefully that answered your question on that one, Rotors. Yeah, it's oh, here we go again. Right, I'm swapping cameras. I'm turning this one off because, well, it's turned itself off. I need to figure out what is going on with that one. So what we'll do is we'll readjust this one. And hopefully gonna have to get that balanced, aren't I? Let's turn you around like that. No, what am I doing here? I need to turn you around like that. Ah, the joys. Right, let's see what we got there. A very high camera. That might be a little bit better. Let's try that one. Yeah, not perfect, but it will do the job. When it stops being silly. So now we're actually on the Insta. So apologies, you can see everything laying around, but we've got a few things going on. Right, gimbal, same question. Yes, okay, answered that one. I see you trying to follow a whole lot of action with one camera. Would a few static cams and some class pick action make your life easier? Right, so if we're doing a dual cam stream, absolutely. We weren't set up fully when we done the whole helicopter, because what would have happened at that point is we would have had picture-in-picture and all the different angles and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, the one thing which we would have liked to have done was obviously have somebody down on the ground following the camera, following the helicopter, whilst we're also following Emirates with a different view. We do have all of that set up now, and that whole scenario will start coming to fruition. But hey, we can't give you everything in one go, right? We've got to give ourselves somewhere to go to improve things. So the whole helicopter flight was a lot of firsts. There was a whole load of equipment being tested to make sure that we could get the signals and all of that kind of stuff. What I forgot to do was turn on all 4 modems, and ended up being on one, which is why we got a few dropouts. But yeah, it's a whole. I mean, the fact that Tally was on the camera that day as well. I mean, that was a big first for her as well. So she was kind of very nervous. So and then there was a whole drama of the whole thing not possibly happening. So we had to. There was a lot of backwards and forwards, and yeah, there was a lot of stress that day. But as with everything, Tally pulled through. She pulled an amazing job off. Whilst we didn't quite have everything set up, I think as a whole, considering all of the firsts we done, we actually managed to pull that off. Next time when we go up in the helicopter, things will be a lot different and a lot better with a bit of luck. Tracy, yes, good evening and good morning, I guess, from your perspective. Now, why has that thrown an advert in there? Because all adverts are off. That's that's YouTube doing its thing. JP Mac, hello, good afternoon. Tally, good evening, everyone. The tech gurus. Awesome. Good, thanks. Feel free to call me. Yeah, James, good. Yeah, mate. It's hey, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you the other day as well. Hope you're wearing your cap with pride, mate. Danielle, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Rotors, yeah, no, it's not overheating, mate. I don't know what it's doing. I need to pull it off and see what's going on. But yeah, James, it's a little bit different, right? It's I've been promising to do a tech talk for a while, and there's been quite a few people that have asked me about doing one of these, so I thought I'd run it for a quick hour or so, see how it goes, see if anybody has any questions. Christchurch Aviation. So originally I was on the EV10 Mark II. For some reason it keeps shutting itself off, which I need to go and see what's happening. It shouldn't be shutting itself off at this point because the power is all off. Other cameras I would normally use is a Nikon P1100 or a FX3A or an FX3 or a newly acquired Nikon ZF? Crikey, I can't remember. So yeah, we use multiple cameras. I mean, from a camcorder range, we've got a Panasonic, we've got a Sony. The Sony is probably the oldest in all of the range. That's oh crikey, that's probably about 20 years old, but that's how, if you go back to some of my earlier videos, you'll see that that was what I was actually using, and it actually worked out really well. When I say the old Sony, it's this is the one that was actually on this was the one set up for the helicopter, so this was the one that was used. Again, leaves us lots of room for improvement. On that particular day, I was all about going light and figuring out comms rather than cameras. But yeah, lots of different cameras to use. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. Look, everybody's jumping up and down trying to do 4K. Personally, I think you need to get your base sorted out and make sure you can get your basics running. And at this point, every time I've gone out so far, I'm yet to actually have a rig that I sit on and work and actually work with. It changes every time. I've gone from having Rocasters out there, I've gone from having Vocasters out there, I think from an audio perspective, I've definitely finalised on Tascam. I've managed to get hold of one of the very first Tascam AV4s in New Zealand, which I'm extremely excited about and was running on last time. I love the AV2. Now, let's be very clear. If you have no reason for more than 2 audio inputs, the Tascam AV2 is probably a very good option. It's very small, it's got 32-bit floats and all those wonderful things, so you can't, even when the jet takes off and the engines go full thrust, it still stops it from clipping. So where is my AV2? It's actually over in my bag, but to give you an idea, I don't actually know where my AV4 is. It's actually a very good point. Where is my AV4? To give you an idea, let's see if we can actually turn this camera down, which was supposed to be straight. Oh no, that's not going to work, is it? Because it was originally set up for bottom cam. Oh, why are you arguing with me? There we go. So this is the AV4. Now you can see how small that is. Sorry, this is the AV2. It's literally 2 XLR inputs and does absolutely awesome audio. So if you only need 2 channels, I would seriously consider a Tascam AV2. They are, I'm going to have to move that camera down a bit now, aren't I? There we go. Oh, there we go. They're just absolutely awesome for their audio, and you can feed it straight into your camera, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, just a good old little box to do its job. Sorry folks, it looks like I'm way behind on the chat here. Christchurch Aviation, so he's asking what is your full stream setup. This depends on the day. It's becoming more and more complex as each time we go out, just because I'm now trying to, we now have dual comms and all that kind of stuff. One of the things I was trying to deal with in the past was getting AV without having to use any transceiver and all that, or sorry, without using any SIM card or modem or anything like that. So I went out and bought a whole load of different transceivers. Some do 500 meters, others do 2.5 kilometers. which I've got a cupboard full. The For going out streaming aircraft, I have one kind of setup. If I go and do weddings and all that kind of stuff, I have a full rack of equipment that goes out with me. Obviously, from a wedding perspective, you don't get a second chance. You can't turn around to the bride and go, "Oh, hey, halt for a couple of minutes. Can we redo that?" Whereas, obviously, going out streaming, it's not as critical. So full setup. Crikey, here we go then. I've normally got about 3 160 watt hour batteries with me. Obviously, I have a lot of cables. You can never have enough cables. They will fail at some point. The camera for me is normally the FX3A with a Tamron 6600, and then I will send Tally out with the EV10. That will either have a 200mm lens on, or it will have the Sony 200-600. My audio equipment is then fed. Well, okay, let me go and grab my camera. Hang on. My audio equipment is then fed straight into an XLR handle on the camera. Oh, hello. I seem to have a lavalier mic still attached to that one. Oh, there's the other transceiver. The one thing I will say, if you like, or if you want to be wireless, so this is my main setup. So that's the FX3 camera there with the Tamron 60x600 lens. That then sits on the rail kit, which is then connected into a DTAP distribution box right here. Let's get that up a little bit. Into a distribution box, and then my battery sits right on the back here. So that's a SWIP 160, I think it was. So that's the XLR handle I was referring to, which I then plug basically a wireless receiver into it, which happens to be the Hollyland Lark Max 2, which quite frankly is absolutely awesome. I couldn't suggest anything else. I've gone through the Rodes, I've gone through the DJIs. The Hollylands are absolutely awesome. More because if you go for the complete combo pack, you also get the wireless earphones, which you can use as monitoring. And then just here, I'm using the wireless unit, which comes in a nice little case, like most of them do. But I think in the past, Christchurch Aviation, I've suggested this to you because these come with a nice little dongle that you can plug straight into your phone to grab the audio. You don't have to get any additional cabling or anything like that. So yeah, absolutely could not recommend Hollyland any more than I am. Their setups are awesome. I mean, to the point where I actually went out and bought a second set as well. So I can now do the whole four transmitters to one receiver, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. What else have we got? What is your full mainstream setup? Oh, sorry, I haven't actually given you the whole thing. So so all my audio is basically fed into, as I said, it's now the Tascam FR-AV4, which then feeds into the wireless transmitter, and then is received into the main camera body via the Hollyland receiver. From a headset perspective, I either use a Rode NTG. I'm sure it's a Rode NTG. What do we got? Rode, where are you? It's an NTH100, or I use an Altec, an Audio Technica, BPHS1, I think it is. The ambient mics are all Sennheiser 600s, MKH 600s or MKE 600s, MKE 600s. That's another one. I absolutely love the MKE 600s. Their sound quality is just amazing. I also have a Rode NTG 5, a Rode NTG 4 Plus, and the reason the NTG 4 Plus and the Sennheiser 600s is they both, any shotgun mic requires phantom power. The 600 and the NTG 4 Plus allow you to put a AA battery in, which provides power. So in the event of your power dropping out from whatever soundboard it is you're using, it still obviously produces, it gives the power. Now obviously, because I'm out in extreme conditions, rain, wind, whatever the case may be, I like everything wireless. So what I normally do is cover my my microphone in the wind foam, shortly followed by a Rode Blimp, and then a dead cat on top of that, which protects it basically from the elements. That's then plugged into another one of the transmitters of the Holyland, and so I don't have to have any cable. The last time I was out there, my whole camera was pretty much cable free, which was absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, when it comes to doing dual cameras, I then need to start implementing USB cables back to my Surface Pro, so that the two-way comms can come from the communication software into the Tascam, feed that back out through the camera and through the stream. From the stream perspective, that is then fed back into an SRT server back at base, and then into OBS, which does all of the overhead kind of graphics and automation, and then obviously out to you wonderful people. I think that pretty much covers the whole setup until we go into dual cameras. It's quite a lot of tech that goes on behind the scenes. There's a lot of testing as well. Yeah, there's hours of testing that goes on behind to make sure that happens. JP Mac, in your years of plane spotting, did you ever think you would end up live streaming on YouTube? Is it updates in technology and internet speeds that has allowed a massive increase in airport streamers? Now, JP Mac, James. Look, no, I didn't actually ever think I would be live streaming aircraft. Pre-COVID, I was doing wedding videography and all of that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, as we hit the whole lockdowns and all that kind of stuff, there was a big call for wedding streaming, and the whole process just blew up, or the whole concept blew up. Everybody wanted to stream their weddings to all and sundry so that they could still feel part of it. And even today, it still plays it's quite an integral part from people being overseas and still wanting to be part of it, but obviously can't afford thousands of dollars for a flight. So the families still want to be part of it, and thus they call on us to come and stream their weddings. So what I go out with to the field, if you like, as opposed to what I go to weddings. They're very different. The mixer kit is very different, and you have, from a wedding perspective, you cannot afford to have any dropouts. You cannot afford to lose any footage, anything like that. So there is backups on backups on backups, and yeah, there's no way I could carry this out into the middle of a field. Although I say I do, I actually do. But from a aircraft streaming perspective, I'm not carrying that amount of equipment out. So when you go aircraft streaming, it's about being as light as possible, but still getting the job done. When it comes to weddings, it's all about resilience and making sure nothing fails. And I mean, from that, even from a comms perspective, you know, there is no certain way to make sure it's always going to work. So I have multiple layers of backup from that perspective. I have multiple modems that feed in. I have, if they've got Wi-Fi on site, I'll feed that in. I've got Starlink that feeds in, and then this is all bonded back to a main server to make sure it all basically stays stable. Do I go to that extreme when it comes to streaming aircraft? No, absolutely not. Obviously, when I'm spending thousands of dollars going up in a helicopter, I want to make sure that works. So I will take up the bonding solution and all that kind of thing, and next time I'll remember to actually turn it on, so I have multiple modems and don't lose the signal. The interesting thing in all of this, though, is I thought I would be a lot better at streaming because I've obviously come from a wedding background. And then I thought I was just going to walk out and be, hey, I've got this. This is no problem. Do you know how difficult it is to actually stream aircraft? You know, it's one thing doing a whole left to right, but when you're stood where we are out on the mound there, that you've got multiple different angles, and it's actually interesting because as it's taking off and comes past you, you don't actually realize you've got to drop the camera as opposed to it's just a constant incline. You're actually dropping it as it comes past and then increasing. It's almost four-dimensional. So yeah, I was very quickly taught, just because I can stream somebody walking at 3 kilometers an hour out of a door around the field, wanting to feel pretty, everything else, that aircraft apparently don't adhere to those terms. Trying to follow something at 150, 160 kilometers an hour going straight past you and up, almost on top of you, sorting out your zoom, making sure you're zooming in, zooming out, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, not easy. But hey, it's definitely made my wedding videography a lot better. So yeah, it was a complete turnaround from what I thought was actually going to happen. Hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, there is a massive increase in airport streamers. I don't think a lot of people realize how much there is involved, and seriously, it's not just a case of standing out in a field with your iPhone. I'm very particular with my audio. I try to take everything I don't like from other streams and improve it in my stream and make sure that doesn't happen. Wind is probably my biggest bugbear. I can't stand wind noise. And in Christchurch, it's from the cafe perspective, it's very much those mowers and everything else that just drown out all the sounds of all the other engines at the most important time. Don't get me wrong, absolutely love the Aero Club. They allow us to go up there, and that's just absolutely awesome. So big kudos to the Aero Club. I really appreciate what they actually do allow us to do. So thank you to those guys. But yeah, look, if you are thinking about streaming, go and stream. Honestly, I procrastinated about it for nearly a year because I was busy trying to make everything perfect and trying to get everything right. Hey, you're never going to get it perfect. You're never going to have an easy day when it comes to streaming. All I say is just know your equipment, know how to use it, and be able to bug fix on the fly, you know, because that's probably 90% of what we do. We have to solve problems on the fly. Everybody's going, oh, it's so windy, there's too much noise, your audio's down, your audio's up, whatever the case may be. And you need to understand your equipment before you do anything. Don't try to chase 4K. Get your basics right. Go out there, do 1080, do 1080 30, 1080 60, whatever the case may be. But don't try to chase 4K from the outset. You've got to get your basics right. Once you've got your basics, then you start building on all of that. You'll see I'm still running in 1080. Whilst I can do 4K, hey, I still don't have my basics right. So I'll deal with the bottom stuff first before I have to start dealing with the upper stuff. Was very nice, JP Mac. Well done, mate. Hope you enjoyed it. Very much doubt I could have done better. Hey, Roaders, no, we absolutely will do better. As I said, well, I went out with a 20-year-old camera, and I was hand-holding pretty much the entire time. Like I said, just because we were testing the comms equipment and all of that kind of stuff to see if we could actually pull this off. Fortunately, we did pull it off, because in my entire excitement and trying to check everything else, I forgot to hit the record button for half of it. So if it didn't work, yeah, we were pickled. We had no footage, and we'd spent a lot of money, but never mind. There we go, Nikon ZR. Yeah, that's the one. Right, what else have we got? Dave, good to see you, mate. Absolutely awesome. Christchurch Aviation, nice. I'm currently saving for some new camera gear and looking at mics for better audio. What would you recommend? Yeah, Christchurch Aviation, we've kind of had this conversation in the past, and just as proof that I'm recommending still the Hollyland Lark. I have 2 sets of them, so I would absolutely recommend the Hollyland Mark. Go for the combo kit, mate, so that you get the you get all of the bits and pieces with it. You get the lavalier mic, you get all the cables, you get the USB dongle for your iPhone and all of that kind of stuff. But look, I don't recommend anything I haven't used. I've got DJI mics, I've got Rodes, I've got all sorts of stuff, and don't get me wrong, Rode actually set the benchmark many years ago. They've just been a little bit superseded by Hollyland, and I guess, look, Hollyland for me, they're a little bit above prosumer. The Rode microphones are kind of prosumer for me, and they worked for many years whilst I was laving up the bride and the groom and all that kind of stuff, so we could hear all the speeches. But yeah, Rode kind of got a little bit left behind with their wireless equipment. As with all technology, there's always somebody coming along a little bit better. But yeah, definitely the Hollyland Lark Max. Excuse me. Okay, what else have we got? So Danielle's actually passing out free. Oh, sorry. Okay, Danielle is passing out free microphone dongles to everyone in the stream. Okay, be real. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Nice to see you. Very much a Q&A session. No aircraft today. Just tech talk about what's going on. Glenn Martin. Good evening. Good to see you, mate. And custard cream slice, nice. Haven't had one of those in a while either. Oh, why is that jumping up as like it is? Spare. Yeah, look, the whole we were originally gonna head off to Nelson on Monday. It's probably likely to be Tuesday now, and we're also not likely to be doing a helicopter stream. Look, it's one runway. We'll do a tour from the inside and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. What's everybody's thoughts? Do we want to see Nelson Airport from the air? I mean, obviously, we're not following anything in. They don't have anything too exciting at Nelson, to be honest. We're only doing the tour just because people want to see all of the other airports, you know. And most people seem to be only interested in the mainstays of what New Zealand is: the Aucklands, the Wellingtons, the Christchurch, and the Queenstowns. Well, you know, we have a lot more airports than that, so I figure we'll take you on a little tickie to go and see these airports. But do we want to see Nelson from the air? I don't know. I'm not convinced. What's your guys' thoughts? So definitely we're going to go and do Queenstown. We are potentially going to get Queenstown from the air from where we're standing anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I think we all enjoy the whole following something in. That one just blew up and went mental. So it's. I think we might stick to doing the whole following something in kind of format, unless you guys have got something else you kind of think you want to see. I don't know. Look, this whole channel is about you guys at the end of the day. So if you've got something you want to see or you've got an idea, throw it our way. We don't mind, honestly. If we can, we will. That's the whole purpose, you know. That we have lots of people watching from far away, so we may as well put something exciting out there. Hey, be real. If you have a question, fire away, mate. You know, I mean, if you look behind me, you can see there's a lot of equipment sat there. We've got a lot of things that we do. Unfortunately, because this ZV E10 decides to keep turning itself off, I don't have my downward camera, which is what was actually supposed to happen. I need to look into that camera as to why it's doing it, but yeah. We'll figure it out. The helicopter stream in Nelson or even Marlborough would showcase the beauty of the South Island more than anything. Yeah, well, that was also my thought, James. You know, I mean, do I do this? Because I've also put the idea out there that do we stream the actual journey as well, which means I'm going to have to go and epoxy Starlink to my roof and a few other things, but I don't know. Do we want to stream the whole journey? I mean, are we showcasing New Zealand or are we showcasing airports? There's been a lot of discussions about this, eh? Look, the journey we're taking is going to be just as awesome as the actual airports we're stopping at and streaming as well. But we're not a travel channel, you know, and I don't want to start dirtying the water a little bit. I don't know. I want to bring New Zealand to the mass and let them see how beautiful our country is and why we are so lucky to wake up with some of, as much as I've been complaining about the weather recently, which I'm totally over. Summer sucks this year, but yeah, we still have some awesome. We have some awesome countryside. I mean, it's just amazing. And I really want to bring that to people who don't actually understand what New Zealand is about and why we go on. You know, whilst I want to bring all the different airports, I mean, you take Christine Frank, for example. You know, I mean, she's very excited to see all of the other airports on the South Island because she's never actually seen them. You know, albeit she's lived in New Zealand her entire life and up in the North Island there. She's not actually seen any of the South Island airports other than Queenstown and Queenstown and Christchurch. So, one more reason to go on a tour. How many other people haven't actually seen it? Are we doing it just... Look, we're not going on a plane spotting tour to Dunedin and Invercargill and all of those wonderful places, Hokitika, because they get all of 3 flights a day. And most of them come from Christchurch or Auckland. So we've seen the aircraft, but let's showcase the airports as well. It's yeah, that's my thought process anyway. I don't know if you guys have got anything else you want to add to that. That's absolutely fine. It's that's what we're about. We bring these things out of sheer joy. Right, what else are we doing? I think it's important to stream what is interesting to you because there's so many in YouTube that will want to see it. Yeah, James, look, I love tech. I love streaming. I love pushing the boundaries. I've been asked a few times to do a Q&A session on all the different tech that goes on behind the scenes. We're trying to push it to the ultimate limits. You know, we're going up in helicopters. I think we're about 1,500, 2,000 feet or whatever it was on that particular occasion. We did obviously have a couple of dropouts, but you know, we're not a news crew with millions of dollars of equipment behind us. It's all self-funded through the wedding business and everything else. You know, all of the donations that go into the stream go back into buying t-shirts and hats and yeah, it pays for a couple of the internet bills that go on with it. I mean, I've got 4 SIM cards that I utilize. Well, that's actually 5 when I go up in a helicopter. But yeah, there's a little bit that goes towards that, but honestly, the bulk of everything that's donated into the stream goes into buying merch, so that people don't have to go and buy merch and all that kind of stuff. If they see us on tour or they come and see us out in Christchurch and, hey, we watch your stream all the time. Hey, well, great, here's a t-shirt, here's a hat, do happy days. That's what it all goes to. Whilst it's nice to see all of the memberships being bought and all of that kind of stuff, because that obviously boosts the channel and gets us out there a little bit more, I'm not here for your money. I'm here because I enjoy streaming. I enjoy aircraft. I enjoy pushing technology to its limits, seeing how far we can go. You know, I love being out there in the wind and the rain. Obviously, I have to psychologically prepare myself for that, unlike the other day where we got battered by winds that were just not supposed to have happened. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that, and I hadn't got anything strapped down, so that kind of took us a little bit by surprise. Tracy, hey, if you DM me in Discord with your address, I'm pretty sure we can make sure a cap finds its way in your direction. Lovely. I didn't mean to ask the other day, actually. I'm absolutely sure we can make sure something finds its way in your direction. Just DM me your address in Discord. I think you found me in Discord. Actually, no, I think you found me on Messenger as well. just drop me your address one way or another, and we'll make sure something finds its way to you lovely people. David, what on earth? You're running Windows 7, mate. Do you not realise Windows 10 has just been obsoleted as of October last year as well, mate? Seriously, you need to sort that out. Through two 32-inch screens and a large 75-inch, I need to update. Yeah, no, yeah. I don't do anything Flash. Yep, no, that's cool. Like gaming. Yeah, no, you probably still need to get past Windows 7, mate. It's yeah, you're leaving yourself wide open to be hacked by those unscrupulous people. Expanded airport tour, cruise of the tower, the fire trucks, the terminal, yeah. So here's the thing. I've learnt Dunedin actually allows you on request and permission to go up into the tower. So I'm trying to arrange for that to happen. I'm also trying to arrange for a tour of the fire station here in Christchurch, as well as the electric truck. I'm fortunate to hold a press badge, so it can all go under the guise of journalism. But yeah, absolutely, definitely. Look, we're not going to get up into the Christchurch Tower. They are way too busy here for that. Definitely not the Auckland Tower. So where we can, we will. But definitely looking into doing all of those things when we stop by Dunedin. I have dropped an email off to them to say, hey, here's my press badge. We stream all of these awesome airports, and we're looking to bring New Zealand to the masses. Is there any possibility to get up into the control tower? I guess time will tell. Waiting on a response, I guess, is the statement of that one. And yeah, welcome to my office, where everything gets built, everything gets made, and where everything failed, as usual. Typical streaming. We will figure it out again. No, Roders, you're absolutely right, mate. A lot of the streaming software was built on Linux, and I've slowly started migrating a lot of my key servers, if you like, over onto Linux for the streaming side of things. So, absolutely, yeah. And hey, you go down the Ubuntu, it's all free. Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, far out. That was a quick hour, guys. I figured we'd only go for a quick hour. You would ask your questions, and I didn't expect a huge crowd to this today, just because it is technical. There are a lot of things that go that are not pertinent to what a stream is. But oh, look, I love Christchurch. Where else can you get so close to an A380 and be able to film it like you do? Smell that avgas. Smell the rubber as the wheels hit the tarmac. We are very lucky in we have quite a diverse airport. You know, we get the C-17s, we get the C-130s. We've got, I think it's an F-15, F-16 coming in very soon for Easter, or F-22. Yeah, F-22. Where do you get to see the diversity of aircraft that we see? It's without going to an air show, obviously. We are very fortunate. with Christchurch Airport on how close we can get past the fact that yes, it's quiet on quite a few occasions, but we still see some exciting aircraft. I mean, look, let's go back to November. We saw A400s going over our head. We saw 747s coming in. We saw 330s coming in. We saw 380s coming in. We get so much. And in case you didn't know, we occasionally get the odd ATR and Dashi. Great aircraft, you know. We're fortunate to see them once in a while as well. Yeah. For anything else, it's obviously gonna be Auckland, just because of the variety of commercial that goes on there as well. It's yeah, and you get a steady stream. Right? I do need to take another little trip up to Auckland and do something. Hey, maybe we need to do a dual stream telly. We do Auckland and Christchurch, you know, and we bring that dual camera action going on into that split screen, and we watch the departure from Auckland and we watch it arrive in Christchurch, and vice versa. Who knows? Lots of interesting things to do. Okay, I really enjoy the going on at an airport, especially the ground crew and the work around getting the aircraft ready to depart. Yeah, couldn't agree more, Glenn. I need to get out at some silly o'clock in the morning to grab some time-lapse motion for the intro video to the stream, as well as like a time lapse of the sun rising and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, we just haven't had the weather recently to actually do that. We've managed to get a bit of intro audio and outro audio. I just haven't been able to capture the video footage due to the weather. It's for the sun rising. I need that beautiful clear blue morning, and I need the weather to play game. Could you get anywhere near Kia or Woodburn for streaming? Yes, mate. When we go to Nelson, we're actually going to be doing Woodburn and catching up with James. So we will do all of 4 aircraft that pop into Woodburn, and we'll do probably another couple of hours in the local establishment having a good old chinwag. But yeah, we absolutely do have Woodburn on the radar when we go up to Nelson. So yeah, watch the space, mate. It's Nelson is literally going to be within the next few days. They've also, oddly enough, been having strange weather, so we haven't bothered popping up there as of yet. The weather down here in the South Island has been atrocious. I don't really know what's gone on with this year's summer. Absolutely, mate. And riders, when we get down into Invercargill, I hope you're going to be available to come and have a wee couple of cheekies and a little chinwag and pick up some swag. And hey, if, like I said, if you're about, we'll look to get you up in the helicopter with us if your work roster doesn't impede. James, yeah, absolutely, mate, absolutely. We'll figure something out. Is it the same as UK that an internal flight is more expensive than a trip aboard? Tracy, the flights over here are ridiculous. You're absolutely right. What was it I said the other day? Oh, that's right. When we popped up to Auckland to do the whole SID Squad arrival and streaming, we could have disappeared for off to Fiji for a week and still come back with change. Internal flights are disgusting. I mean, you're not going to get much change from about £400 Tracy, to go from here to Auckland. Yeah, it's disgusting how much we're charged over here. I mean, you can go by Jetstar, so at that point you're kind of gambling as to whether you're even going to take off and leave the ground that day, or you can go rent yourself the aircraft and fly up to Auckland. I mean, that's how much it costs. You feel like you're renting the aircraft, but apparently they only give you one seat. So yeah, it most definitely is, Tracy. Very expensive. Which is quite ironic, because if you take something like the US, it's actually you buy your flight from here to the US, and then you buy all your internal flights whilst you're over there, because it's so much cheaper than trying to book it from here. Davo, that's iced tea, mate. That's no spirits, just iced tea. Do love a good iced tea at 7:30 in the evening, and yeah, cheers everybody. 7 o'clock at night, I'm not going anywhere, so I do love a good iced tea. Yeah, exactly, Davo. It's crazy to how much it costs to travel. Right, hey mate, honestly, I was so disappointed, or I was almost disappointed, because I knew you said you might have been pretty poorly on the Emirates Day that we done the following, and you have no idea behind the scenes how much stress was going on with helicopters and everything else. And I was very conscious that you made the statement you were gonna you were feeling pretty poorly, and you had to take some of your own cough medicine, and honestly I was distraught that I couldn't make it happen, or I thought I wasn't going to be able to make it happen. Fortunately, after lots of phone calls and everything else, honestly, if it wasn't for you and my guilt that you felt poorly that day, it probably wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been so persistent. But as a result, hopefully everybody felt they got a good stream that day and saw something a little bit different. So for all of you watching, you've got Roders to thank for that day, because I wasn't going to let him down. I'd promised him a helicopter that day. Oh no! The tea bag was just dropped in it. Nothing, not strong at all. All right. Hey. Does anybody have anything else technical they want to ask, or anything stream related they want to ask? I seriously only thought we'd probably go for an hour today. We've obviously passed an hour very quickly. So if you actually have anything to ask, now's probably a good chance. If you've enjoyed this, let me know. We can, if you've got an idea about any kind of format you want to see moving forward, like maybe a camera that works, let me know that as well. Hey, this is, I'm not about hiding how we do things. If I can help you out in any way, shape or form on how stuff works, if you want it a little bit more in depth, if you want it less in depth, if you just want to chat, we can do that too. I am looking at getting two-way audio on something like this as well, so that rather than typing, you can chat away and it's all fed back into the stream, and it's a little bit more real time as opposed to the delay that's going on here, which I can see. Yeah, again, just pushing everything to the limits. If you have any tech questions, fire away. If you have any questions. The fact that everybody's gone silent, I guess the simple answer is no. Hey, be real. No, absolutely awesome, mate. Thanks for the kind words there. No drama at all. I have been promising one of these for about 3 months, I think. And the people that have actually requested it have not even stopped in, so I don't know. Hey, Glenn, absolutely awesome to have you part of the group, mate. It's or part of the community. You know, the same goes with everybody. It's whilst we're actually out there, you have no idea about how much is going on. You're kind of keeping a watch on the chat. You're keeping a watch on the tech. You're keeping a watch on the camera. Which, yeah, my last stream I seem to have forgot to do quite often, but never mind. But you're doing a whole lot, so it's very difficult to be as personable. Right now, all I'm doing is yep, absolutely rotors and helicopters. we always keep an eye on helicopters, especially for you, even if we don't think you're in the chat. And boom, all of a sudden there's a helicopter. We've got eyes on the helicopter. There's rotors, mate. We always keep an eye on the helicopters, especially for you. So you're all good. But yeah, so being sat here, just having a general chinwag about the tech and all that kind of stuff, it's a lot more relaxing, and we've kind of kept it members only, I think. I don't know. Which is grab yourself a glass of iced tea, you know, and cheers to all. And just, yeah, hey, look, this is a complete free-for-all. There's and that kind of goes the same with the stream as well. You know, there's obvious stuff we don't mention, like any issues that have happened with aircraft. We don't mention politics, and we don't mention religion and all those kind of things. Otherwise, I like to keep the stream pretty much as open as possible. It's a community. You know, we're all there for a reason. We're all there to talk about stuff. We're all there to catch up with each other. So yeah, just come along, chat away. Just don't break the 3 cardinal rules. It's really that simple. At that point, you get the mods coming out, and they actually have to do something. Davo's the prime example. He's got his taser guns and all sorts of things if people play up. And hey, if you want to put pink hands in my stream. Especially if Tracy is in the house. Absolutely awesome. Be real, and that's exactly the way it's supposed to be, mate. You know, I'm not about keeping it all on point and aviation chat. You know, Christchurch is it's an interesting place. Look, we get a lot of quiet periods. Oh, here we go. I guess we're saying goodbye to Tracy now then. Yeah, be real. It's look, we have a lot of quiet periods in Christchurch. It's we've got to have that banter in between. I mean, Tracy and I jump onto Pete's stream, New York City Aviation, and we pretty much hijack it with all about cooking and barbecues and how to cook things. And look, Pete has no problem whatsoever. The chat is what's important, because we're all talking to each other. The chat is what's important. We're all talking to each other whilst we're watching things we like. You know, so yeah, no dramas in this house. It's you do what you got to do, and like I said, don't break the 3 cardinal sins, and there is no reason for a mod to have a chat to you or do anything. And I think that's fair. You know, we don't want to annoy people. We're all here to have a good time. Robert, good evening, mate. Good to see you. So Robert's just saying, I enjoyed watching kind people like yourself doing something that you enjoy. That's paramount, but you do engage and encourage great enjoyment in aviation. Hey, appreciate the kind words, mate. That's absolutely awesome. Yeah. Hey, look, don't get me wrong. I get stressed when we're out there sometimes. But you just got to blow through that. We get back on stream and we come back. Sometimes you guys just have to ignore me. There is a time where the microphone gets turned off, and there are a few cuss words mentioned. Fortunately, the ambient doesn't seem to pick it up. But yes, rest assured, there are some stressful times out there, especially when the wind's blowing as well. But yeah, absolutely. I appreciate those kind words there. That's awesome, and that's what we are all about. We're about bringing people together, watching things we all enjoy. We all have a single focus on something, yet we still have different things going on in life. And hey, if you want to talk about a recipe or something, have a chat about a recipe. Great. You know, if you want to talk about beef Wellington that apparently Tracy thinks is really easy to make, yeah, it's not the simplest, but it's okay. We can do it. The fact. Oh, by the way, guys, we have absolutely busted through 2,500 likes, 2,500 subs on the channel as well. Long before the end of December, which is absolutely awesome. And again, it's for people like you. Dead easy. It's for people like you that we bring this channel out. It's we're not here for anything more than to share planes and just chat away to each other. Tracy, yeah, as you said the other day, mate, you've learned, as did Danielle actually, you've learned more about geography from watching, I'm not talking about myself when I say airport streams, but you know what I mean. You learn more about geography, you know. The whole thing with putting the map on about the runways and all of that kind of thing was because obviously we take it for granted that we know which runway we're talking about when we say 02, 9, 11, all of that kind of stuff. I actually sat back and thought, well, here I am preaching about which runway they're taking off on. You guys may not actually even know what the hell it is we're talking about. And so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, we'll put the map up. And occasionally we'll bring it up to show you guys. You know, hopefully you guys think that's worthwhile. Little things like that. You know, I'm not here to bombard you with a whole load of technical. Well, obviously on today's stream I was, but when it comes to actually airport streams, I'm not there to bombard you with a whole load of technical details. We'll drop that in. We'll listen to the sounds of the engines, you know. I'm pretty confident if you ask Tally, she loves her Trents. Whereas, because they're so damn noisy, I love my Jetsstars. I don't know why Jetstar's are noisier. I mean, they're still an A320, but they're obviously running a different engine. But yeah, you know, if you want more information on what's actually going on, let us know. You know, but we're not here to bombard you with all the technical stuff. You know, this is a flap, this is an aileron, this is what it does, this is why it does, this is a scimitar, this is a split wing, all that kind of stuff. You know, if you want that, no problem. We'll let you know. But we're also not here to overload you. We're drip feeding as time goes on. You know, same with the website. It's we're slowly adding more and more to it to make it actually interesting rather than just, you know, another website showing the same thing. I actually want you to find value out of what we do. That's that's kind of where we sit and brainstorm most evenings and try to figure out how to bring value from what we're doing to you guys, because we actually appreciate what you spending your time with us. You know, it's actually quite it's quite humbling to us that you privilege us with your time. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, Dave, I love my dashies too. I love my dashies and ATRs, but you know, sometimes you get sick to death of seeing them. there's only so many ATR dashy takeoffs you can show. Let's have a look. You want to borrow my pan? Oh, here we go. Yep, not going down that one. I'm sure Silky will appreciate you borrowing that pan, Davo. So the answer is yes, mate. JP Mac, I was watching Logan in flight this morning, which is at Boston Airport, and I started learning about the geography of Boston. There you go, James. That's exactly what I'm saying. You know, I know for a fact that we've got we've got Danielle on here and Tracy, who have both said they've learnt so much from watching these airport streams. You know, it's surely that can only be a good thing. EK Aviation, welcome along, mate. Good to see you. Yes. Yeah. So if you go back to the beginning, EK Aviation, you'll see I was actually promoting. I wasn't telling you to go out and buy it just because. Again, without you having to go back, I actually hold 2 lots of Hollyland Mars. Hollyland Lark, sorry, not Holly. Well, I hold those as well, but Hollyland Lark Max kits. So absolutely, I love them to bits. Briggs and Stratton, my goodness. Yeah, we on the last stream, if you remember, we saw a Briggs and Stratton motor engine strapped to the front of one of those aircraft. I think it was 80 HP. It was pretty impressive on how fast it was going. Okay, Robert, here we go. If you had any budget, Tony, hypothetically, oh, crikey, where's it gone? What bit of kit or tech would be a godsend to have that you would for yes, wow. Yeah, the problem is, Robert, I kind of, and I think you'll find Telly will attest to this, I kind of buy what I want if I need it. This is why I'm happy to open up these kind of sessions for the techies amongst us to answer the questions, because I literally have about 3 rooms full of equipment. It's everywhere. There's not a huge amount. If I could have anything, what would I have? It's a good question. You've actually got me thinking there, Robert. If I could have any, it would probably be a total mobile studio, so that irrespective of the inclement weather, we can still do whatever we want. I've created a lot of wet weather equipment for my cameras and my tripods. The problem being is if you've got any nasty kind of wind, wrapping your tripod up in any kind of weather equipment turns it into a huge sail. So yeah, not good. Not good at all. I can do rain without wind, just not rain and wind. Any equipment at all, yeah. look, we can start going down the Edelkrone tripods, the Sachtler heads, all of that kind of stuff. Do I want to go out with a $7,000 tripod and a $12,000 head in those kind of inclement weather? Nah, probably not. I'll leave those for indoor work, I think. The back of a camper van camera studio. Rotors, I've actually got my eye on a 5.5 ton truck at the moment, actually, which was already fitted out as a mobile office. But yeah, I need to get a few more subs and a few more donations before I start thinking about that. That's a $80,000 investment into all of the streaming. Maybe once we've got this maybe once we've got the stadium up and operational here, and somebody's actually come back to me and said, "Yep, we would like you to do some streaming from here," then maybe at that point it'll be worthwhile. But yeah, at the moment we kind of go out with about $45,000 worth of equipment streaming when we do dual camera. So there is quite a huge investment into all of this. It's again, as I said, it's not a case of just rocking up in the field with your iPhone. Whilst a lot of people can and will do that, I'm coming at it from a little bit of a different perspective, in that I want to bring you quality, not quantity. Rotors, no, not a large portion. Look, they keep 30% of basically anything that comes across. Is it a drama? No, not really. Look, as I said, pretty much 90% of the donations I get go back into buying merchandise to hand out to you guys when we're traveling around, or when you come and visit the field, or paying for a couple of the SIM cards that actually do what we do. I mean, yeah, one would argue it's a big whack, but I don't know. It allows me to keep buying that merch so that you guys don't have to go and buy merch. Excuse me. And I'm always happy to receive a DM from people if they want a t-shirt or they want a cap or whatever the case may be. You know, and next month we'll maybe have some key rings, and I'm not all about stickers. We don't need stickers. Something, again, quality, not quantity is the simple answer. Right, what else have we got going on? Where's Daniel? Hey Robert, nice to see you. Okay. Jumper Collins, Simon from Think Planes was subject of an attempted mugging. Yeah, and that's one of the other issues, eh? I mean, because we are out with the amount of equipment we are out with, we're always quite conscious about that kind of thing as well. There is always a secondary camera going on recording what's going on around us. Whilst we don't push it out as they say, a BTS cam, there is always a secondary camera. And theft of equipment card. Yeah, use any concerns here in NZ. I think if you were there, if you was up on the mound, they've had. This is the reason why they've fenced everything off, because apparently there's been a whole load of break-ins to all of the rental vehicles and all that kind of stuff. My argument with that is all you're doing is actually stopping us from being able to get to where we need to be to set up and be there videoing pretty much as long as we are. You're not going to stop criminals. It's this whole this whole ban on guns and everything else overseas. I mean, obviously we don't have that liberty here, but overseas where it's like, oh well, we've had this mass shooting, so we're going to restrict gun sales and only allow these kind of guns. Look, all you're doing is restricting legal people who are actually going to abide by the law. You're not actually restricting people who are going to go out with intent to do harm with those kind of things. They're going to get whatever they want from wherever they want, you know. So in the case of Christchurch Airport, all they've done is restricted us law-abiding people who actually have no intentions of doing anything other than standing up there streaming, bringing or showcasing airports to the world. Those who have bad intent, they're going to do what they're going to do. It doesn't stop anything, right? Okay, Jumper Collins, you're more likely to get mugged in the lookout at Auckland Airport. Yes, yeah, exactly, I agree. All right, wonderful people. Do we have any additional questions you would like to ask? Anything about anything. Here I am preaching away. I would like to get two-way audio on this at some point so that we can actually all have a conversation rather than me just chatting away merrily. Good job I've got an iced tea because it's actually really thirsty work. Okay. Yes, mate. Rhoda's absolutely. I'm gonna. I was having a conversation pre this stream, where I would actually like to get something up where we can all just chat inside inside a platform of some sort, and it just comes out on the stream where it's all real time, and we're not waiting for this whole delay, because I'm watching, I can see a good 20-30 second delay going on with a lot of things. So I'll throw it out there one more time then, and I will leave it until 8 o'clock in case that's any more. Yeah, Davo, absolutely straight, mate. It's the best iced tea I've ever had. I'll leave it till 8 o'clock in case anybody else has any more questions. Otherwise, hey, appreciate everybody coming here and being part of today's Q&A tech talk, I guess. And welcome to my office. Thank you for being part of it all. If you have anything, now's a good time to throw it out there. Otherwise, I will wish you all an awesome weekend, and we will catch up literally within the next 48, 72 hours, where we bring the next stream, I believe, will be from Nelson. So thank you very much for the kind words there. I'm assuming you sit in the background somewhere, lurking, because I've not actually seen you in the past, but let's Christchurch Airport hangar where the mechanics are. Well, see, now that's an interesting one. I would probably have to leave that to somewhere else. I will pose the question, and you're absolutely right. I have posed the question. Oh, good point, Tracy. Saturday night. It was 7, 12, 13, 27, 38, 39, and the bonus was, oh, where's the bonus? 42. There you go. But yes, I'm probably not the right person to be asking about that one, Glenn. There is somebody that is a little bit closer to the hangars, so you might want to post that question elsewhere, and I have posted that question as well, or posed that question, but yeah, it's probably not my area, but we'll see how it goes. Danielle, thank you very much for stopping in, lovely, and appreciate you being here. As always, you have a wonderful evening, and we will catch you soon. Able to capture heat. Able to capture heat? Hang on, am I missing something here? Do you do night filming, Tony? And if so, are the cameras able or some kit thermal signatures? No. So because I've got FX3s, I can do night filming. Do I want to stand out in the field at night time? I mean, look, you're probably going to see a lot more as the nights get shorter, just because. Oh, sorry, the days get shorter, not the nights. The nights are getting longer, just because we'll be passing that 5 o'clock and we'll be missing some of the good stuff. So you will absolutely be seeing me out there a little bit more in the evening. But right now, anything past the 7 o'clock mark, it's not really worth it. So yeah, not that we don't really see too much at Christchurch Airport to make it to make it worthwhile being out there at that time of the night. Right, Jumper Collins, Dollar Romeo, Alpha Tango. I didn't win. Pants. Perhaps I should buy a ticket first. yeah, you're right there with me, David. Don't buy a ticket either. And again, another person I've had the awesome pleasure to meet is wonderful Jumper Collins David. Popped out with lots of yummy goodies for us to partake in. So again, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate that. We do have all the t-shirts and hats now though, so if you want to pop out again the next time I'm out, you might score yourself some merch, eh? Okay, you wonderful people, I appreciate everybody stopping in today. Thank you very much for all of your questions. If you have anything else you would like to see in any more of these formats moving forward, please let me know. Jump in on the Discord, go and let me know. Tracy, drop me your details, mate, and I will make sure something heads your way for the awesome Silky, and we will sort everything out. But as always, appreciate everybody. We are here because of you. If there is anything you want to see, let me know. We will make it happen. Otherwise, you all have an awesome weekend, and until the next time, stay safe, be awesome. This was me, Tony, from Airport Streams. You all be good. Thank you very much, guys. Good night.